Okay, minions, we got 1.7 now for the third portion of the video series. And in this one, we're going to be talking about the different types of federalism. The first one we'll talk about is dual federalism, sometimes referred to as layer cake federalism, because it's kind of like a layer cake. It's got different layers, it's clearly defined and separated. And why we use this is because they say that in dual federalism, everyone stays in their own lane. The federal government makes policies in its sphere, the states make policies in their own spheres, and they don't really mix. And that was very popular all the way up until the Civil War. Then came cooperative federalism. And this is sometimes referred to as marble cake federalism. And a marble cake is just all mixed together, right? And that's what's going on with policy making. Federal, state, and local governments are interacting together to solve common problems. And it became very popular following the New Deal, in which the federal government took a major step forward in interacting in state and local issues to solve problems. We have seen a transition towards one of cooperation, towards one of manipulation, and we refer to this as fiscal federalism, when the federal government is using that money to manipulate the states into what they want them to do. It's still cooperative, but it's just a different way of looking at that cooperation, right? So the major tool of fiscal federalism are grants and aid. So grants and aid are just money from the federal government given to the states. And think of it this way. One way your parent and or guardian can get you to do something they want is to threaten your money, your allowance, right? They might be like, hey, if you want that $20 to go to the movies, you need to clean your room. And that's exactly what the federal government's doing with local and state governments. A great example of this is the drinking age. The drinking age is 21 in every state. But it's not a federal law. Those are state laws. The only reason they are all 21 is because the federal government has threatened the states that they will not give them money for their highways unless they make their drinking age 21. And that goes all the way back to the 1980s with Ronald Reagan and a group called MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. All right, so let's talk about some specific forms of grants and aid. We got categorical grants. That's money that can be used for very specific purposes. An example might be the federal government's giving money to states to use on schools for teacher training on computer technology. That is very specific. That means that money cannot be used in any other sort of way. Block grants are much more flexible. They're more general purpose. So money given to states for schools. Now, how the schools use that money is up to them. It's flexible. So if Pacheco High School wants to build a new building, they can do that. Or if they want to train their teachers with new technology, they can do that. They have more choice. You can guess which one states prefer. And mandates. All right, so this is another tool of fiscal federalism where these are the requirement sides. Like, hey, you get the money, but you need to do this. Sometimes you don't even get money. Sometimes it's an unfunded mandate, and that means that, hey, you need to do this, but you're also not getting any money to help you do that. And a prime example is the Americans with Disabilities Act, which has required state and local governments to have buildings that have ramps and wide doors for access for wheelchairs, but not just them, but also private businesses as well. All right, but no money came with that. All right, that's it for today. The next time we'll talk, we'll be looking at 1.8 pieces.